Good afternoon, Miss McCullough. It's so good to see you again. I remember the last time we met, you had some concerns about your neighbor. So I figured we could explore those concerns right now. So are there any further developments since the last time we met?
Yes, it's freezing outside, and the dog, they never brought the dog inside. The poor dog is out there in below 0 degrees. And my daughter keeps reminding me that if anything happens to that dog, that I'm partly responsible for whatever goes wrong.
But it's not your dog, it's the neighbor's dog, and the neighbor's dealing with their dog.
That's true, but it takes a village.
To raise a dog?
To raise everything. We're all in this together.
Okay.
And with that, what would be the difference if I knew that a child was being abused?
Okay.
And I just sit back and I do nothing about it.
Well, you've been responsible for that.
Well, people go to jail for animal abuse.
True, that's true.
I do know that this dog is not being well taken care of. I know this.
So have you spoken to your neighbor, Miss McCullough?
You know what? No.
So you're upset, but you have not spoken to her.
No, and that makes me feel really bad.
Because there could be the case where the neighbor has like a heater in the.
Yes, my boyfriend
Mm-hmm.
has spoken to them because he wanted to help weatherproof the doghouse for the dog.
Mm-hmm.
Like put a tarp over the the entrance and
Mhm.
all that, and he did suggest a heater, and so they did put a heater in there, but the doghouse is made out of wood.
Okay.
It's not insulated.
Mhm.
The dog is, and maybe if it was not as cold, then the dog wouldn't suffer, but
Okay.
because it's below 0. Yesterday morning I woke up crying thinking of that dog.
Wow, that's a lot of emotions, Miss McCullough. So let's explore that now.
Okay.
Yeah. So why did you wake up crying?
Because I feel I don't know what the word is, but I feel wrong.
Mhm.
I feel like I should do something, but at the
There's a
same
need for you to
time,
do something, but then
Right.
you really don't want to cause conflict.
I don't want to cause my neighbors, because we live so close.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you can anonymously make a phone call,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
And honestly, I know that this will cause a lot of grief because I looked it up online
Mhm.
about animal abuse,
Mm-hmm.
and this definitely is in the category of animal abuse.
So, is there fear in talking to your neighbor? As if you're fearful?
You know what? I feel like, what would I say that they don't already know? They obviously don't care. I know the young man that actually has taken responsibility for the dog.
Mm-hmm.
He loves the dog,
Mm-hmm.
but what's love?
Got to do with it?
No. No, I mean, like, there's love and then there's love. Like,
Okay.
if he really, really loved the dog, he'd get rid of her.
Okay.
Him. Because he knows that he's incapable of giving the dog the kind of care that he needs.
Okay.
He knows this. Clearly, I know that if it was up to him, the dog would be in the house.
So maybe Miss McCullough.
So last winter, the dog ended up with mange.
Mhm.
And he was very sick, but he survived. I don't remember. Last year it was winter. I mean, it was a bunch of snow.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was as cold. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
But all I know is, like, how much abuse can the dog take?
So
Plus, he's lonely. Could you imagine? Dogs are sociable animals. They're pack animals,
Mm-hmm.
meaning that they thrive
on companionship.
Right, companionship.
Mm-hmm.
Like my dog, We're her pack. This poor dog has no pack. He's so sad. Every time he sees me, he loves me. Every time he cries like a baby. And that's all he does is cry like, please take me. I was thinking about bringing him in the basement in my house and bring him in the basement. But what if he has fleas? Then I have another issue. And, I don't know.
Well, Miss McCullough, clearly this has been causing you a lot of distress.
Yes.
So we don't need to, possibly we need to explore some solution to this, because, and I'm thinking that maybe it's not your dog, it's your neighbor's dog. So maybe you should possibly speak to the young man. I know that you have a fear in doing that, but then you can never tell what will happen unless you do something about it, okay? So you probably could start by helping him to buy the flea medicine if you have the space that you could keep him, and then you probably could administer these medication, and then you probably could keep him until the winter is over.
Oh, really? I do have a dog.
I know you do have a dog, but that's companionship for your dog.
Really?
Yeah.
This dog has never been in the house. How do I know? I would feel better I feel the dog should go.
But then it's not your dog, because you're just assuming that all of this is happening.
Right, but the suggestion you're giving me, I've thought of that, but that's taking on a huge responsibility that might not work out well for me. Because see, once ownership, ownership is 9/10 of the law. So that means that I got the dog.
Okay.
And I'm the one that's going to be responsible for not just walking one 90-pound dog, but two 90-pound dogs. I don't know how they know each other, because they've always known each other, all their life. But the two dogs I'm talking about.
Okay.
But I don't know how my dog will feel with this dog coming into her territory.
So you have a lot of concern, Miss McCullough. So we probably need to stop for a moment. Let's stop for a moment and think of it objectively. Okay? If you take this dog on, you have other issues that you really don't want to deal with, right? So you have one of two choices, or three choices. First of all, you may have to take the dog if they are willing to let you keep the dog for the winter. Two, you'll have to speak to the dog's family to make sure the dog at least gets some proper clothing or some proper warmth inside the dog house, because they're not going to keep the dog inside. Or three, you have to call services protection for the dog, right?
Oh, there's four.
Right.
And you do nothing.
Or you can continue doing nothing. But the fact that you're not doing anything is causing you a lot of distress. And see, we are in therapy now because of this dog, right? So we probably need to think of it. There's a need to do something, right?
There is.
There is a need to do something, because if the dog is being treated badly, then we have to do something, because you are a neighbor. We are all neighbors together, right? So I figure that I'm just thinking that maybe you should speak to the dog's family one more time, if you have not done so, and just express your concerns, and hopefully there won't be any conflict, and then you'll be able to at least get.
You know what I realized? Culturally, that's part of the issue, because in other countries, it seems to me like warm climate countries, and maybe not just that, but it just seems to me that some people have a different view of animals.
Yeah.
It's just a dog. You know what I mean? And so I can have a conversation with my neighbors, which would seem appropriate to me, but it might not be appropriate for them.
I can tell you, Miss McCullough, that culturally, as you said, the person is a Jamaican, and Jamaicans do not live with dogs. They definitely don't live with dogs. They will love their dog, but they're not gonna have them sleeping in the house with them. They don't have them on their couches or anything like this. So it's really a cultural issue, and it's something that you need to understand also. And then you cannot make the decision for this dog because you're not the dog's family. So,
Well, I could call.
well, you could call, but you said you don't want to have conflict. It make
No.
so it causes a lot more problems if you do call.
Mm,
So,
for my, cause for my boyfriend,
mhm,
really, because it's his house,
mhm.
and
So he could call, well, he could say that he didn't know anything about the treatment of the dog because it's your neighbor. It's not in his house. So I think, Miss McCullough, what was gonna happen is that we're gonna have to explore all of these feelings and all of these options because certainly something must be done. And I'm hoping that the next time when you come in, because our time is up right now. Next time you come in, that we'll be able to at least dig a little deeper and to see exactly find some solution, or you could find some solution by us just having dialogue to say exactly where what we can do about having this dog getting some warmth and all of that. Okay, Miss McCullough, thank you for coming in, and I'll see you next time. Next
thank
week,
you.
I think next Tuesday at 3:45. Thank you.